I felt that in my triceps before. Other than maybe something like a missed max bench or something that I failed to lock out, it was this interesting dull ache. I'm like, let me do a couple more sets of these and see if I can take them to failure. And I did. I pretty much took them to the end. And afterwards, it's kind of like I felt this unique ache all the way through my triceps. Like I'm worried I'm going to have DOMS tomorrow. In fact, I know I am. I'm like, I have found my new tricep exercise, and I don't feel anything near the elbow with the tendons where we're worried about that tendonitis. It's like, okay, good. And you shouldn't. Due to the biomechanics, it shouldn't have that stress on the tendon because of the way I treat them at the bottom. You notice that little bit of shoulder travel, and then the change deloading it slightly at the bottom, and then it gets heavier halfway up. So we can load it pretty heavy. This is going to improve my bench as far as tricep exercises go. Right? That is a solid exercise, and I felt it afterwards, and I still feel it now. It's this unique dull ache. Oh, I love this new exercise. I think it's really going to improve my bench. I think between that and the floor pressing, again, I'm really focusing on a little bit of volume on my floor press, grow my triceps with that. I think it's going to help my bench. And obviously we keep benching heavy. Then I did my laterals. I did 4 sets to failure. These felt pretty good today. And I just used the same weight. I picked a weight because I knew this is what I was going to use on laterals. That's what I did for the last few sets on those rollouts. But they were pretty much limit sets. So it probably put me in the range I wanted to be in. I'm going to eventually need to go heavier on those, though. I need to get strong at them. We've got to load them. We've got to be able to load these exercises, especially one that's going to be a primary mover like the tricep on my bench. But the laterals, I've said to do 4 sets. I need to make sure I get enough volume in to make sure that everything's growing. Again, I need more delts. That's the downside. You know, everyone's like, I mean, your delts do need more work relative to the rest of your torso. And it's like, guys, think about who I have to compete with. You guys are used to seeing guys on a gram of gear. Even if I have as much total muscle as some of the guys you're thinking of on the rest of my torso, it's about androgen receptors. And it's going to be really, really hard to compete with them. It doesn't mean I don't work the hell out of my delts. We're training delts because they're important for my bench press. Like, you need that stability. A strong shoulder girdle in general will give you a more stable platform to bench from. But when you're talking about those big round capped delts, unless I go back on a significant, at least a moderately decent amount of gear, I may not get that look. It just may not happen. I'm going to train them. I'm going to train them optimally or as close to as I can. But you guys got to keep in mind there's limits. There's limits. So I went ahead and just used that same weight, took 2 sets of hammer curls.